Hello student, welcome to the next session of computer class. So last class we are reading about the RAM. Okay, so this memory, and this memory is completely the computer's internal memory, which very much essential also, without which it is not possible at all to work upon the computer. So this is called your primary memory also. It is called primary memory. This memory, it is two types, that is RAM and ROM. ROM type of memory and your RAM type of memory. RAM full form is random access memory and ROM full form is read only memory. What it is? Once again, RAM full form is random access memory and ROM full form is read only memory. Okay, so these two types of memory, it is primary memories, are fixed in the motherboard. Okay, and this type, now we'll see this RAM. What is this RAM? RAM is one type of the memory which stores all the information whatever you will give, maybe digit, number, picture, or whatever. Its nature is that to store at that time all things will be stored in the memory of the computer. But when power supply will be go from the computer, it will be wash out automatically. It will be clear automatically. It is just like your blackboard. Okay, so where everything we are writing at the time of teaching, and after the teaching or complete over, then we are cleaning it. So like the same type of memory this RAM is. So the RAM is one type of memory where while you are working upon your computer, whatever you are working upon that all things will be stored there. All the instructions whatever it is required to work upon your work, that also it will store there. Picture, number, data, whatever you store, that will be stored at the time. But when power supply will go from the computer, when you switch off the computer, then it will wash out all the things whatever stored in the memory. Okay, so this is your RAM. And ROM is another one. So that we'll see for later on. First of all, we'll see the types of RAM. Types of RAM. What are the different types of RAM? So RAM are two types, basically two types. Okay, the DRAM and SRAM. That is dynamic RAM and static RAM. What it is? Dynamic RAM and static RAM. So dynamic RAM, what it is, first we'll see. So this type of RAM, if it is fixed upon the computer, it is maximum computer we are getting this type of RAM, DRAM. So after few, it will store all the things, but after few millisecond, as per our requirement, it will refresh automatically. It will refresh, by which later on it can be stored some extra information there. So every time, every few millisecond, it refresh automatically. Okay, millisecond. Otherwise, it will erase. And DRAM is mostly used for system memory because it is cheaper. System memory purpose we are using this one, and it is cheaper and high storage capacity. High storage capacity and your dynamic RAM and your cheaper also. So that is why most of the system memory purpose we are using this DRAM. The next thing it is comes that what is that SRAM. SRAM, next page you open, page number 4. Okay, so static RAM, and the information stored in the static RAM, whatever you are storing, that information need not to be refreshed, but it remains stable. As long as the power supply is there, it will remain. So whatever, it will not, in between they will not refresh. What is the difference between these two? It will refresh, it will not refresh. That is the basic difference. So time to time, DRAM automatically will refresh, it will be raised. Okay, and new information you can be stored automatically there. Okay, and this SRAM is that until you are not making it power off, switch off the computer, it will go on storing all the things in the same RAM only. But when you switch off the computer, then only it will be erased, otherwise not. So this is the what your DRAM and SRAM, two types of RAMs are there. The next thing it is that your ROM. Come to the ROM part. read-only memory. This is also essential memory. What? Your read-only memory. And this memory, it is why it is essential, and its nature is why it is named as a read-only memory, because once it is stored something here in the ROM, once you are stored, it cannot be erased. It will remain forever. Even if switch off the computer, then also power it is off, then also it will remain in the computer. It will never erase. So permanently it's stored. It is a permanent in nature. So that is why it is named as a read-only memory. So every time it can read, full read. Computer can read information from it, but it cannot be erased. Okay, so that is why it is named as a read-only memory. And this read-only memory, what is the essentiality of it? Okay, this read-only memory, because computer, it is a device which need instructions, many instructions to start purpose. When it will get up start, at that time instruction without giving, it will not ready to execute information. Whatever picture you are looking, whatever audio you are listening, whatever music you are listening, whatever game you are playing upon the computer, these all things is separate secondary work. But first thing it is that computer to get start. Without getting start the computer, it is not possible to do these all types of work. So to get up start only, we need to give instructions. So that instruction also not a single line or 2 line or 3 line. It is 100 of instructions required. That also in computer's language, not in our language, that instructions. Computer's own language, that is your 0 and 1 language. And that all instructions, it is difficult for us to give every time whenever you start the computer. Because we are the user. We just want to do our work upon the computer. To start the computer, it is very difficult to give that instructions. So that all instructions, the manufacturers, those are manufacturing the computer, so they already stored in the computer, okay, in the ROM section of your memory. In the ROM section, they already stored that instruction, which all things are required for the starting the computer. So whenever you will start the computer, you will not face difficulties. So that is why the computer, inside the computer, the manufacturers are stored there, the instructions. And that all instructions are permanently stored in the ROM section of the computer. And when you are making the switch on the computer, computer automatically starts to read that instruction from the ROM. Automatically it will read, okay, instruction and get ready. By which your work can be performed. Whatever work you want to do, your music you want to play, or game you want to play, or a song you want to listen. So whatever work you want to do, that one computer will be ready for you. But unless until that instruction not reading, computer is a dead machine. It is deaf machine. So that is why these all instructions are stored in the computer ROM section. While computer switched on, it searches for the required. So when you switch on the computer, first of all it will search where is that instructions. Okay, just instruction where it is stored. That is, it will search out automatically, and it will start to read automatically from the ROM section. Okay, and it will get start thereafter. Then what are the types of the ROM? So there are 3 types of ROM actually. First of all, PROM, programmable read-only memory. Programmable read-only memory. These are the types of ROM, programmable read-only memory. EPROM, electronically programmable read-only memory. Erasable programmable read-only memory. Erasable programmable read-only memory. Thereafter, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So EEPROM. EEPROM, EPROM and PROM. What is the difference is that the programmable read-only memory means whatever instruction how to get start the computer, that is by a program it is written, and that program it is permanently stored. Where? By the manufacturer it is stored, that programmer and program is stored, and it can be and later on, if they want, the manufacturer, by using some special technique, by special type of equipment, by using, they can change permanently stored, but we cannot change ourselves, we cannot change. So programmer, those are the manufacturer, they can be changed later on. So they like that PROM notice. And erasable programmable read-only memory means what? Is similar to the PROM, but it can be erased, okay, later on by the ultraviolet light. One special type of light to be passed to the memory, okay, ultraviolet light, and that light that light will pass, then it can be erased and new information you can store. Where? In erasable programmable read-only memory. Then next thing it is that EEPROM. So EEPROM means electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So this one, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, that it is similar to EEPROM, but that all things can be, whatever it is, once it is stored, can be erased by using a high voltage current. There what? EEPROM, ultraviolet ray by passing. Ultraviolet ray by passing, it can be erased. But here, if you pass to that electricity to the computer, that chip, then that chip, it will receive the electrical current, then it can be erased and new information you can store there. So this one, nowadays this EEPROM also it is using in the computer, every computer. Okay, thank you.